Okay, so this is the Celebrations Passport. This is the loyalty program for 1-800-Flowers.com. So free shipping and no service charge for 1 year in exchange for $19.99. I can add it to my cart. Now, here are some other benefits. No promo code needed, so it's easy to check out. Exclusive perks, product previews, and special offers. And then there are added benefits. Same day delivery, thousands of gifts. And then this one is, I can't click it, but it's pretty interesting. This is where if you upload your address book or the addresses of people that you want to remember and send gifts to from time to time, you can actually create reminders where 800flowers.com will email you and tell you a couple of days before the blessed event, whatever it may be, that you should order flowers or order a gift for your grandma on her birthday or your mother on Mother's Day or whatever the case may be. So this is modeled, I think you can agree, over Amazon's Prime. They want you to make a financial commitment. In exchange for that, you get free shipping, similar to Amazon. You get special perks and offers. They're trying to give you sort of a cross, like Amazon, pushes. Amazon has quite a variety of products, right? In addition to just regular physical products, it has entertainment products and TV products and all kinds of things that they want to get you to do. But these guys also smartly, they make it easy for you to do business with them. And then they have this address book where they want you to give them this address information and set up reminders. And if you do that, if you can invest the time to do that, and you start liking the reminders and the big variety of gifts, you can get so many things from steak to fruit to chocolate to personalizing things, and flowers and baskets. I mean, if you just say, well, I can do a lot of my gifting here, it's a very sticky relationship. You build the loyalty and you're with them, and it's just so easy to do everything with them. And that's what you do. Okay. Let's just go back and look at another example of that. Okay. So, for some reason it's taking us way back here. I'm sorry, everybody. Let's go to slideshow and let's go to Avis now. And the rental car companies were one of the first companies to do loyalty programs because they noticed that particularly that business people, road warriors were, let's go to Avis Preferred, were their MVCs, right? Wasn't necessarily mom and dad and little Bobby and Janie and Fido going for a once-a-year vacation, to see the grandparents in Florida. It's the people who are flying around every week. And so years and years and years ago, all the major car rental companies started developing kind of a special club for people who traveled a lot. And of course, airlines do that. You have enough miles, you get special perks, you get better seats, you get to get into the sort of the clubs that they have in the airports at no charge, etc. So, okay, so expedited service is the most obvious thing, where you don't have to check in at any desk or anything. You just you have your reservation, you just take the bus. The bus will drop you right by your car, and the key's in it. You just off you go, zippity zip. And if you're a road warrior and you're tired and you're running around, there's my air conditioner again. That's pretty nice. And they also have an app for you if you want to do that. Put it on your phone. That makes sense, right? For a traveling road warrior to have it right at their fingertips. And here are the preferred points. And there are accessories you can get, like the Sirius radio, GPS, roadside assistance. You can spend a few points per day on that. And so this whole point system is one of the earliest rewards and loyalty programs, right? Mileage, points, hotels, everybody in the travel business is crazy into this. And again, this is a customer rewards program. This is a loyalty building program, so that whenever you travel, you're going to try to go to Avis because you have the most points, and they're pretty much everywhere anyway. And so, but all the car companies have this. I think one could argue that it's not exactly a USP to have one of these programs now, right? It's a cost of doing business. But be that as it may, this is an example of loyalty / CRM program. Okay. And now, of course, companies also have presence on social media, so they're not just doing it on their own websites. They have their own Facebook page with all kinds of people following them and doing things and . So they're finding a bunch of different ways to communicate with customers and build the loyalty. And by the way, just a word about cross-selling. All right, so I don't know if you folks know what cross-selling is, but cross-selling was made infamous by Wells Fargo. You may have read over the past few years, it was kind of a hot story maybe 3 years ago or so, 4 years ago. Wells Fargo, do you remember how it was found out that their employees were creating fraudulent accounts for customers? Well, this was all because of an effort to do cross-selling. So cross-selling is getting you, after you buy one kind of product from a company, to get you to buy a whole different kind of product. So 800flowers.com wants you to buy flowers, but wants you to buy chocolates or fruits from Harry and David. So if you start doing that, you become an even more loyal customer. Okay. Amazon wants you to buy your shampoo and your vacuum cleaner, but they also want you to be on Amazon Prime and to buy books for your little ebook Kindle reader, right? And Wells Fargo wanted you to keep your checking account in a bank, but also to have your retirement account, your student loan, and your vehicle account, and maybe your mortgage with Wells Fargo. So they basically, in a nutshell, senior management decided that they wanted each of their associates, their tellers, etc., who were the people that had direct contact with customers, to open up 8 new accounts a day. And it was very difficult to convince customers to do this, just on a phone call or something. So once they'd gotten all their friends and family to open up multiple accounts, they were probably at a loss as to how they would meet that goal, and they were pushed very, very hard by Wells Fargo management to make the goal of 8 new accounts a day. That's when they started falsifying customers' records. It was really driven from the senior management of Wells Fargo, but the people who mostly got punished were the people, the tellers, and people with minimum wage who got fired, which is a shame. So we talked about lifetime value already. You remember I talked about when you're doing the cost of your prospecting, you need to not just look at that one transaction you get somebody to do, but you need to look at what they're going to do over their lifetime. There actually is a formula for lifetime value, and it doesn't go out for a person's lifetime because, after all, who can predict that? Insurance companies try, but it's a law of averages. So you take 3 years, basically. So the concept is, it says profit per average transaction times number of transactions per year times 3 years. Okay, but the basic concept is it's profit per year per customer for 3 years out. Okay, and now the hard part is the future years. So 2020, 21, and 22, the profit I make from the customer in those future years is not worth as much as a profit I make from someone today. Okay, this is the concept we're going to spend a little bit of time on, because it's important for this calculation, but honestly it's more important for you guys in your lives, because you may have student loans, you may be taking a mortgage at some point in life, or buying a car, the car loan, and all of these things are impacted by present value and future value, and basically by the time value of money. And another factor in all this is something called compound interest. Okay, so you need to take future money and discount it to figure out how much it's worth today. Okay, and that's called net present value. And definition of it is the value in the present of a sum of money in contrast to some future value it will have when it is invested at compound interest. Because it's always assumed in any financial calculation, mortgage for instance, or any loan you may take out, like a student loan, you're paying an interest rate on the money you borrow. And so that's the time value of money. If you paid back, let's say you owed a $10,000 student loan, if you paid the whole thing back right now, you'd pay $10,000 and you'd be done with it. But with interest, you're accruing every year and compounding every year. You're going to be paying more than $10,000 if you take 10 or 15 years to pay it off. Now, this is the simplest way to do it. $110 due in 12 months' time has a present value of $100 today, assuming the interest rate is 10%. And there's a website called calculatestuff.com where you can play around with these formulas. You'll see in the syllabus that we are going to be doing some compound interest calculations, a few of them. You won't do them as a team, you'll do them individually. And you may find a site you like better than this, but there are sites that have these formulas. Many of them try to sell you a mortgage or something, but some of them don't. So we talked about lifetime value. We talked about compound interest for future money, and we'll get into it later. In our next little topic, I'm actually going to stop here, and then we'll start with the relational database. And we're winding down. We're getting down to the end of the lecture. You'll be glad to